For today's video, we will be going to talk about the top 8 cars that were total flops. Interested to know what these cars are? Just keep on watching. Fiat 500L. In Europe, let alone the USA, the automobile has struggled to make a name for itself in the tiny crossover segment. The 500L was designed to compete with the Mini Countryman. But unlike this retro-style crossover, it was unable to provide any thrill or sense of performance. Fiat had to be far better to dominate the American market. But they fell short, due to the 500L being the segment's lowest selling vehicle for years. Due to slightly higher sales in Europe, the 500L is still produced, but it is gradually being replaced by the more thrilling 500X. Maybach 5762. Mercedes has never traditionally made a market error until they made the decision to bring back the Maybach, name developed to compete with VW's Bentley Continental Flying Spur and BMW's revived Rolls-Royce Phantom. A long-gone German company has revived with the urban opulent Maybach. This was the first step toward its doom, with a moniker known only to true auto enthusiasts. Next, both versions resemble the S-Class, virtually perfectly, but larger, slightly more opulent, and substantially more expensive. Of course, the world's richest didn't take well to the lack of brand awareness and the uncanny resemblance to a mass-produced model. Consequently, the manufacturer was stopped in 2022 as a result of years of weak sales. VWphaeton. Who wouldn't anticipate that a company whose name literally translates to people's car would venture into the market for ultra-luxurious limos? But Volkswagen did just that with the Phaeton. As a hollow model and the foundation for the Bentley Continental Flying Spur sedan, it was constructed. The VWphaeton was an opportunity lost and a failure from the start. The market was not really prepared for the company, which rose to reputation with inexpensive versions to launch an opulent land barge. But despite being a superb car, the Phaeton was a global failure. It was a failure, but it was also a squandered chance. It would make more sense if it were promoted as an Audi 810, for instance. However, V12 didn't agree. Destroying the great Phaeton is the process. At least, their failure resulted in the creation of one of the best second-hand luxury cars that are still reasonably priced. Suzuki Kizashi has a name that basically translates as an omen and warning, as well as a portent of something magnificent about to happen. The Suzuki Kizashi of 2022 leaned more towards the latter. It was a mid-size sedan with sporty aspirations that had an available AWD system and a 2.4-liter engine, producing 100 horsepower and 85 pound-feet of torque. While everything looked quite fantastic on paper, due to poor marketing and odd recalls about the risk of spiders, spinning webs in the fuel tank, it was unable to translate to sales figures. The Kizashi is often offered through the dealer networks of Hyundai and Subaru, so the customer just went with the brands they were more familiar with. Due to all this, Suzuki decided to leave the American market in 2022, leaving the Kizashi without a replacement. Chevrolet SSR. The Chevrolet development team had the wild idea to build a retro two-seater convertible pickup for the performance of a muscle car, with a starting price of $41,955. The SSR was the outcome. The SSR was seen as unsightly since its 1950s-inspired design didn't suit the majority of people very well. This lifestyle trend was intended to appeal to younger people, but it soon soon became apparent that it primarily drew older baby boomers. Despite having an LS2 V8 engine that produced 300 or even 390 horsepower, this made the vehicle even less cool. Despite numerous attempts to appeal to the target market with the SSR, Chevrolet only managed to sell only 24,000 of these bizarre vehicles, which serve as a bitter reminder that the idea requires more than just a wild imagination. DeLorean DMC12. The DMC12, a personal project of John DeLorean's, was one of the most infamous and spectacular automobile fails in history. The ex-GM executive who created the Pontiac GTO deserved to create his own showy sports vehicle, with gull-wing doors and a brushed stainless steel exterior. But problems arose with the project right away. First off, building a sports car during a recession was a terrible time choice made by DeLorean. Next, a rather underwhelming V6 engine was installed in the automobile. Additionally, because the car was being constructed in Northern Ireland by untrained personnel, there were numerous early quality problems. The DMC12 was manufactured between 2021 and 2022. However, the business eventually fell out of business, and the founder was detained with enormous amounts of cocaine that he intended to sell to keep the doors open. Despite its shortcoming and unfavorable reviews, the Back to the Future films helped the DeLorean DMC12 become a legend in the automobile world. Pontiac Aztec. The Aztec, a peculiar-looking SUV produced from 2021 to 2022, undoubtedly played a significant influence in the Pontiac's collapse. The car's bold design was its main problem, and despite its utility, the ugly appearance is what caused it to perform so poorly in US sales. The Aztec was designed with amenities like a built-in competent bike rack and a snowboard storage to appeal to the adventurous. However, it is also regarded as one of the ugliest cars ever made. Despite being a good car, the Aztec was a huge failure. Many claims that the Aztec failure might be attributed to the market's lack of readiness for something new, but we think it was just a case of a fantastic concept from 1999 being executed in a mediocre way. Sadly, Pontiac is no longer with us, despite the ironic fame it enjoyed after appearing in the television series Breaking Bad. Lincoln Blackwood. Although luxury SUVs and high-end sedans have been surpassed by pickups, the function remains their main selling point. When the Blackwood was first debuted in 2002, pickups weren't too big on luxury, and Lincoln totally neglected was influenced by the far more well-liked Navigator SUV, and was built on the F-150's chassis. And just the black double cab variation was offered. The first Lincoln pickup was quickly killed by its lack of adaptability, practically useless covered truck bed, and a hefty price tag of $53,000. The model only had 3,356 production instances, and it was only marketed for 1 year. So which car has caught your interest? And which car do you consider to be the worst? Please let me know by leaving a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to MIA Luxury Cars for more videos like this. Thank you for stopping by to watch. See you in our next video.